So a while back at work, my drawer was short $50 and I got written up. And I told them that even though I'll take responsibility for it, it can't be all my responsibility because the person that counts it brings it into an area where the camera coverage lapses. And I don't even know how much money is in my drawer because I don't count it at the end of the night. They do. So, which is completely fucking weird. And we don't count it in the beginning of the shift. And then it locks, so I can't get in and out of the cash register during in between customers. So long story short, a coworker of mine comes up and says, "Yeah, my drawer was short," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "I just got written up," and I go, "Well, how much?" And they were like $51, and they knew my shit had just happened like a week or two ago or a week ago. And I said, $51? And they were like, yeah, and yours was short 50. And I said, find out who the closing manager was that took your till. Well, it's the same person that took my till. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm just saying, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure out. Now, when a drawer is short, it's usually short an odd number of dollars, I would say. Like, it could be like $23.17. Or $20, you know what I mean? Never like a round number like 50 or something, you know, like that's a lot of money to be missing. And so they do an investigation, you know, and da-da-da-da. But they can't prove that I took the money. They can't prove that I have given people more money because the surveillance isn't that great. You know what I mean? All they can prove is that there's no fucking, that the money's missing. That's all they can prove. Which, either way, I don't need a fucking write-up, you know? And for something that childish. Now, I threw that to my boss in the nicest way possible, and I said, I'm not saying or implying, but I am saying and implying that somebody else has access to the money that's a higher up, and I don't know if that person has a fucking gambling problem. I don't know if that person has a drug problem. I don't know if that person needs money. It's around Christmas time, you know, and this is before I knew my coworker was under investigation, you know. So they were like, well, you know, you kind of have, you know, you have the drawer. And I go, yeah, but I don't have the drawer. The drawer is there on camera, locked. I can't get in and out it. You know, yeah, there is a possibility that a friend of mine came in and I gave them too much change back on purpose and it was a setup. Sure, that's in the realm of possibilities. That didn't happen. It's a possibility that I gave somebody too much money back. That could have happened. But it's also, we have to be, if we're going to be fucking indicting people on these bullshit fucking lemonade stand politics that we're doing, you have to look at everything, you know? You have to look at everything. And that the boss is just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, you know. And I said, so you're basically telling me that and all the world and everything in the scheme of things, that couldn't even be a fucking thing. And they were like, well, I go, you don't have to fucking have proof. You have no proof of me or whatever. You just have this fucking situation. And they haven't found you don't have me on film taking anything, you know? And so I told the person at work, they told me the same person that had my register, well, you know, is involved. And I said, well, before we do anything, number one, I don't want to do anything and be fucking emotional about it. You know what I mean? I said, well, I need to pray about this. And she just looked at me like, pray about it? I said, yeah, I got to pray about this because I want to find the best mode to do this. You know, God might tell me not to do nothing at all and he'll take care of it. I don't want to do anything and be vindictive. And I don't want to do anything out of anger and be wrong. You know, like I was convinced that a friend of mine had sent something in the mail and then it was missing while the other crackhead friend was staying there after they left, squatting. And I said, this motherfucker took shit out of my mailbox. I've never had anything missing out of my mail ever. And, you know, I wanted to stomp a hole in them. And I said, yeah, you don't really have concrete proof, you know. Just like I don't have concrete proof at work that they did it or that I did it. You know what I mean? So before you do anything, you have to think. So 2 weeks later, a friend goes, "Guess what? The mail came back to my house and the item is intact and all of that shit." So the mail company sent the shit back because the postage wasn't enough or something stupid. And so I said, well, I don't want to rush to judgment. You know what I mean? But I just know this. I'm not I'm not terribly concerned about it. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you know, my dog's like, will you quit talking to that little box? At the end of the day, this is a fucking gym here. I never seen anybody at. I'd really like to look inside here. At the end of the day, God is in control of all of this stuff. God has allowed it. God, I mean, I could get fired or whatever, and there will be a reason why, and da 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 da, that this is a thing that's happened. He's allowed it for whatever reason. It could be for this person, hypothetically, that they're having a problem, and this could be their rock bottom. I don't know. Or they're just being malicious and they're fucking me out of my job and this other person and they just hate our guts or whatever. It could be either one. I don't know. It's not my job to fucking, it's just my job to be aware of it, bring it to the people's attention, and then, just be cognizant. My job isn't to fucking, and then today, like when I was working, I counted my drawer before I gave it to him and took a picture of the money that I written down, to protect myself. It doesn't mean just be completely laissez-faire and be a hippie about it and just go, oh, no, but at the end of the day, God will take care of it. I'm not worried about it. And if that person is stealing from people and doing this and doing that, I have no fucking, listen, I can't, everybody's a fucking thief that's a human. We steal people's time. We steal people's fucking, peace and quiet. We steal people's money. We steal people's hearts. We've all are fucking bank robbers at the end of the day. We've all stolen. We've all, all the shit that I've done in my life, and like even the fucking nerd near the end, she stole from me, and I knew this was bad because this has never happened before. It doesn't mean that that person's life is fucking beyond ever being fixed or anything again. It's just a moment of hopefully they, maybe have a come to Jesus, like literally fucking moment, and this could be it, and you're involved in it for whatever reason. It might not be, I stole this guy's fucking dog. you know, it's just, don't be like, fucking settled on it and I can't believe it and I believe it, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like people, myself included, we're fucking, we're humans, man, and humans are fucking, we're all cockroaches at some fucking point in our lives and in our journeys. We've all done, if we're being honest with ourselves, and I'm trying to be honest with myself, I've done things that I've fucking would keep me up at night, from stealing people's like fucking prescriptions and their pills when I was in their house and talking to them and da 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 da, and whether I want to blame it on my addiction or being in withdrawals or whatever, at the end of the fucking day, I made a fucking conscious decision to be a piece of shit and steal somebody's shit that doesn't belong to me. It's not mine. If we're gonna be fucking open and transparent and all of that shit, then I have to be able to say, hey, I'm just putting it out there that I've done a lot of fucking, 10 years of fucking, and it's embarrassing and it was hard to admit at first. It used to keep me up at night. When I got sober for probably 2 or 3 years, I'd have dreams of pills and stealing them and finding them and taking them and all kinds of crazy shit. And, so whatever this person did. And hopefully, whatever is going on in their life, that hopefully, you know, something happens in a positive fucking way. Something happens in somebody that was close to me's fucking life, and they go on with their fucking life and they get it figured out and they use this as a learning fucking experience, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, this time I just happened to be A instead of B. You know, I happened to be the person that was in the fucking right for once in my life. You know what I mean? So at the end of the what the fuck is biting me? At the end of the day, I'm not better than this person. I'm not better than the person that I lived with. I'm not there in a period of their life where their addiction has taken over. It's in full blown fucking relapse mode, whatever you want to call it. And they're running wild and all of that shit. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, you have to recognize it. I'm not saying sweep it under the rug. You've got to separate yourself from the situations in life and stuff. And, you know, I was thinking at work today, like, you know, I really, you know, I told, you know, like, I'm not really, I've had to tell a couple of my managers in the nicest way possible that I don't really like the fucking way you're talking to me. And you're being very condescending, and this isn't a great place to work. All the management seems to be fucking toxic. And then the head manager, I call it, and they call it managerial courage, doesn't have the fucking courage to fucking put their foot down and say, hey, we're kind of we need to kind of be a little bit more positive around. They're, you know, like just soft about it, you know. And I understand because I was soft about things, you know, too. It's hard when you're involved in a relationship with someone and you're fucking hopelessly, you know, at the time in love with them, and you know, you want to be wrong and you're hoping that, man, I know I got it together. I know they could do it if they really wanted to. But when the time comes, you know, you have to be able to rise to the fucking occasion of being, you know, an authority of your fucking, you know, with God running the show. You have to be the fucking vice president and go, this is not happening anymore. And that's what, you know, my thing is at work. Like, I'm just, you know, it's not just this job, it's every fucking job, man. People are just, you know, I come to work. The whole time me and her were splitting up and she was fucking terrorizing my life, which has pretty much been what she's been doing since before fucking September. You know, I don't go to work and be miserable, you know. I just, you know, I carry on with my life. I like to talk to people. Like, people at my job that I like will go, man, every time people are in your line, I will hear people laughing fucking hysterically. Like, and I'm going, what the fuck are these people laughing at? And then I see you talking to them, like doing like some kind of improv fucking situation about why Spanish names all sound fucking so sophisticated and sexy and covert all at the same time. They sound so much better than fucking white people's names. And I would say, you know, because I just want to, at the end of the day, I just want to have fun. I want to do the right thing. I don't want to have these fucking talks with you. Like I used to tell her, you know, there's been times where I'd have to sit her down and say, listen, you know, I'm not your fucking probation officer. I'm your boyfriend. I don't like the fucking position you're putting me in. And I don't want to have these talks with someone that I sleep next to at night and run my fucking fingers through their fucking hair and have to come down on you in a fucking way that, but unfortunately, no one else is going to do it, you know? And so that, you know, and I could see this fucking goof. He's scratching his dick on the pavement. I know what he's doing. I don't blame you, brother. All right, we'll get you out of here. I gotta go home and clean up. I worked a fucking double, not a double, but close to it yesterday. We had a huge truck. I got out of work at fucking midnight. Went to bed at 2:30 in the fucking morning. Got up at 6 because somebody's cat that lives in Newport Richie was fucking waking me up going, meow. And I get up and I go, what? And they bring me order their food dish, and there's a little fucking ant crawling in there, and they wanted the ant gone. And so then I'm up, and then I had to go back to work today, but I have a couple of days off coming up, and they'll call me. And I told my boss that one day they called me. I said, I don't want to come in. I said, I don't want to be around a bunch of miserable people. And you know what? Here's the other thing. My time is fucking precious to me. I've had people just recently fucking waste my time. There's nothing worse than somebody fucking, I hope they're in the camera mention my balls real quick. Sorry, people. Everybody's been in public when a guy's had the scratches. I'm not trying to be like fucking disgusting or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know why they're these shorts. Anyways, yeah, so I fucking really didn't want to come in today. I'm tired. We had a storm. Before the storm, I got my exercise out of the way, did 45 minutes on the bike, blah, 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 blah. Came into work. We were nonstop. We had the biggest truck we've ever had, and I'm on my feet all fucking day, just like everybody else, blah, 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 poor me, But then I get up today, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'd fucking ride my bike again for 30 minutes, get a workout out of the way, get this shit done, and I go to work, and I'm a little bit more tired. So at the time I get ready to leave, I go to the back room. We're closed, and my boss radios me and goes, hey, are you going to get the carts outside? I said, yeah, I just went to the bathroom, and I'm just putting my shit on my bike, and I'll be up and grab it. So when I come out, the cart's already back in, and then the dude that is the alleged bank robber is like going, yeah, man, before you go back there and start doing all your shit and fucking blah, 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 you do all this first. And I just want to say, this is why I'm not a fucking corrections officer, because this is the kind of losers that fucking permeate the police academy. And not that all cops are like this, but this very fucking, bro, relax. You're a fucking supervisor at a fucking store. Do you know what I mean? I'm nobody. You're nobody. I don't ever fucking talk to you like that. And one day he said some shit in front of me. A lady was on the phone, and I had a line, and I was just getting ready to radio for backup, saying, I need another person up here to help me, please. I just went out of my line for a second to grab these batteries, and I should have just told the person to get on the fucking internet, but I was flustered, and I just said, fuck it, I'll just tell them. I'm not going to call somebody to go, hey, can somebody tell me which the batteries are? Nor am I going to open up a whole nother screen on my computer. I get out of line for 2.2 seconds to go, and the dude comes around the corner, and he's like, yo, what are you doing? And I go, I'm just getting the price. He's like, no. Get over there and get behind the cash register. Don't, you can't just, leave your, and just what the, come on, man, what are you doing? You can't, no, you get over here now. And I just looked at him and I said, bro, who the fuck are you talking to in front of all these people? You're going to talk to me like I'm nobody? Do you know what I mean? Like I would ever address you like that? I go, I don't, we got a store full of people, and you're fucking talking. I just exactly what I said. I go, and you're fucking talking to me like I'm 12 years old and I'm on a paper route and your newspaper got wet. I said, dude, get the fuck out of my face and don't ever talk to me like that again. So this is the same dude, you know what I mean? And, a couple years ago, I would have walked up to him and I would have fucking threw him over the register, you know what I mean? And maybe even spit in his face when he was on the ground, because that's how fucking toxic and fucking stupid I was. Now, when I was leaving, I just said, all right, well, I'm leaving 15 minutes early since you already did that. Have a nice day. I'm going the fuck home. I got shit to do. I didn't even say that. I just said I'm leaving, but in my head I'm going, what are you chewing on, rocks? All right, you've been good for 20 minutes. I'll go home and give you a Rice Krispie treat. Let's go.